Hey, do you want to make some window cornice boxes and show everyone how we did it? Yeah? Alright, let's do it. We have just a quick one-day project for this video, and we have these two big windows here that are east facing, so we have to have these curtains or we just get absolutely baked in the evenings from the sun. They're kind of just blah and needed something to dress them up and hide those curtain rods. For the main box, I'm using pre-primed pine. I'm not a huge fan of the coating they put on these boards, but we're at the height of the crazy lumber prices here, and this stuff must not be in as much demand because it's still way cheaper than raw wood, so it just made sense here. When I built my dust hood around the miter saw, a common question was about bevel cuts. I can cut miters by just removing the front panels, and I said I never used a shop miter saw for bevels. I just used a table saw. And it took over a year for me to run into a time where the boards were just too long for the table saw, so still not a huge deal. I just took a minute to pull the whole box off, and then I could make my 45-degree bevel cuts on both ends. I was really impressed with the cuts from the Delta Cruiser here. Also, this is a pretty simple DIY project, and really the only big power tool you need is a miter saw. After cutting bevels on both ends of the long pieces, I had the perfect size offcuts to cut the two outside pieces that wrap and terminate into the wall. Then I could go ahead and get the pieces joined. On wider stuff like this, I like to use tape to get the pieces lined up perfect and held together. Then I add glue, and since this is being painted and the holes can be filled, I just use brad nails to join the pieces. Next, I cut and add the top piece that would sit inside the box. This piece serves several purposes. It's what I'll screw through to attach the box to the wall, it'll add rigidity to keep the pieces from sagging, and it'll block light from shining up through onto the ceiling. I just lined it up flush with the top of the box and tacked it in place with some brad nails. Then I went through and really locked it in with some screws. I can just screw right through the face here because they'll be hidden by the crown molding later. After a quick sanding, I went through and filled any scratches and imperfections to give that time to dry. Then I started to add the trim details, first with this base cap molding flush along the bottom, which is the same profile on the top of my baseboard, so this ties in great. It's really pretty cool how you can make these boxes any style to match your home. You can go modern, rustic, or more traditional like the style of my house. Once I had the pieces cut, I could glue the corners together and get it attached to the boxes with pin nails. Lastly was the crown molding, which I like to cut nested on the miter saw. When cutting like this, your piece is upside down, so the top of the crown is actually down on the base of the miter saw. And then you can just cut regular 45-degree miters without having to bevel the saw. You can use the crown to make your boxes even taller, but I wanted a more slim look, so I just kept the box flipped upside down and used my tabletop as a reference to make the crown flush with the top, and Brad nailed it on. This is a good trick to really add some rigidity to your crown. On unfinished material, I'll use wood glue and actually just stick some small dowel pieces behind the crown to give more surface attached to the box. But here I'm just using some CA glue to create a little bridge. You'd be surprised how much strength it adds. After filling nail holes and final sanding, I could get the boxes primed with Sherwin-Williams Chem Aqua Surfacer. I was dodging rain showers to get these painted outside, but I really didn't want to mask my whole shop to paint these long pieces inside. To match the rest of the trim in my house, I use Sherwin-Williams Emerald, which is an expensive but fantastic paint. I get asked about sprayers a lot, and for my trim I just use this Graco Magnum X5. With a good tip and paint product, you can get great results with it, and it's really affordable. Not really great for fine finish furniture, but for general paint projects it's awesome. After the boxes dried overnight, I went ahead and got them installed. I designed the boxes to still be able to use the curtain rods we already had. But to minimize how wide I had to make the boxes past the window, I did remove these big end pieces and replace them with some bolts and washers wider than the pole to keep it from being able to slide off the bracket. Here I'm measuring off the ceiling to make marks where I needed to screw on the cleats. On the small window it ended up being perfectly level, but over the 12-foot long window it was out of level by about 1/4 of an inch. So by measuring off the ceiling, at least by eye it looked better than actually making the box itself level. These cleats are what I'll screw down into to attach the boxes, and I have headers here over the windows so I can attach them anywhere, but just use a stud finder to make sure you're screwing into a header or cripples. Using French cleats here would be another great option for installing the boxes, but your walls would need to be pretty dang straight for that to work. Here I'm marking the center of the box, and I already marked the center of the window on the wall to make it really easy to install these by myself and make sure they're perfectly spaced on each side. I also went ahead and got all my screws started in the box. On some screws I barely didn't get started enough to get my screw gun in to attach, so these angle attachments really come in handy for tight spots like this. Finally, all I had to do was line up my center marks and get the boxes attached to those cleats. You can see I spaced the box to make sure I can still get the curtain rod up and over the brackets without hitting that top cap piece inside the box. Honestly, I really debated on if I wanted to make these. It was definitely one of those things where it was hard to picture until they were done and installed. But I'm glad I did, and it really dresses up the space with some great detail. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something if you want to tackle a project like this yourself. If you're not already, consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. Until next time, take care.